we have new breaking news, right? But do not get too excited about this, folks. Really, we still have a long way to go. Now, I got to hand it to Nancy Pelosi. I got to hand it to Donald Trump. They both wanted to see a $2,000 stimulus. Remember last time you got $1,200, and then you got a little bit additional for every child. Now, $2,000, you could stretch $2,000, but we already have $600 in the bag, right? That's already been signed off yesterday. House passed it, Senate passed it, Trump signed off on it. Now, today, on Monday, they just voted, and the House said $2,000 for the American people. But here's the problem. Anyone have an idea what happens next? Correct. It goes to the Senate. And our dear friend, Turtleneck, Moscow Mitch, I think he's going to be the big obstructionist here. And it will pretty much be dead on arrival, DOA, in the Senate. So that's why I don't want people to start popping the champagne and celebrating and putting on the party hats, because it's a little bit too early to count on that $2,000. What can you count on? Well, you can count on the $600. That's there. People that were receiving unemployment, what can they count on? They can count on 10 weeks of $300. But this big $2,000 buzz, right, sounds fabulous and probably could help a ton of people. A lot of people need this money. Unpaid rent. I mean, on and on and on. You know, you need this shot in the arm right now. $2,000. Pah! Right? Teddy T's in the house. Trevino Williams. Moscow, he says Moscow Mitch isn't going to sign it or bring it to the floor. Mr. G says hello. And, you know, I gotta agree with Trevino, because the big power player here between you and that $2,000 check, you know, you want to grab it, you want to deposit it, and right in the middle there is Moscow Mitch. Michael Pippin says, F this country. He's upset. He's upset, right? They're playing games. And they are. They're playing games with American lives. That's the bottom line. Now, the House passed a bill to increase the $600 stimulus checks to $2,000 in a vote on Monday. The vote passed 275 to 134. Two-thirds majority goes through. Michael Pippin says, well, not upset is wrong. I agree. Abdul Akri says, when will we get this $2,000? I don't think we're going to get it. I think we're going to get $600, because I've known Mitch McConnell too long, all about corporate America, all about his cronies, right? And in all honesty, they are not going to go and bat for you. At least Mitch McConnell, who holds the power in the Senate. Maybe in January, if Georgia swings the other way, if they pick up 2 Senate votes, then he suddenly becomes irrelevant. But while he is still relevant, Mitch McConnell will want to control the show and even go over Trump, right? Trump wants the $2,000. I did give him a thumbs up for that, right? He says the Americans need $2,000. Pelosi and the Democrats said $2,000. Let's do it. Let's vote on it. And here it is. On Monday, they got the 275 votes, only 134 opposing it. It would be interesting to see in the Senate, who are those 134 people? I mean, I want to get those names. I want to call them out in a separate video. Really? You don't want to assist and help the American people? Well, let's find out who those 134 fools are and slap them down. But the big question is, it gets to the Senate. And what will happen in the Senate? S.A. Jones TV says Trump wants to control also. Very true. Mark Hernandez says, I think will help at this point. So don't rely on the government for help. It seems like they're playing games. Indeed, they are. A lot of little games. They were playing games with us for 6 entire months, right? 6 entire months. Patsy Skelton says Mitch has been too quiet. Is that a good sign? Is that a bad sign? Now, the GOP leaders in the Senate have signaled their opposition to raising the dollar amount of the checks. The people that could kill this opportunity of you, of Patsy, of IQ Boy, Mark, S.A. Jones, Trevino, Teddy, receiving $2,000, I tell you, it's the GOP Senate. And you may think, no, that's not the case, and how could you put them down? Listen, Trump, Republicans' boy Trump wants the $2,000. Nancy Pelosi, the Democrats want the $2,000, right? So you got two parties already okaying this, right? All that stands between the $2,000, right? You receiving the $2,000 is Mitch McConnell and the GOP Senate. Period. Full stop. That is the way it is, right? So now the House of Representatives passed a bill to increase the $600 stimulus checks to $2,000 an hour ago. The vote passed 275 to 134. Listen to this. 44 House Republicans joined the Democrats in approving the bill, right? 44. And the rest of them voted against it. President Donald Trump signed the $900 billion bipartisan coronavirus relief package, which includes the $600 stimulus checks on Sunday, renewing his calls for Congress to raise the amount of the checks to $2,000. I'm all for that. Now, the only problem that I have with the $900 billion, and they call it a $900 billion coronavirus relief package, I ask you, and anybody please give me a straight answer, why did they allocate $20 billion of that $900 billion only to vaccines? Why did they only dedicate $9 billion for the distribution of those vaccines of that $900 billion? So you add 20 and 9 is $29 billion of $900 billion is directly addressed for the vaccines, to purchase the vaccines, to distribute the vaccines. That to me sounds wrong. What also sounds wrong is that all those health officials and all of those people that have promised the people the vaccines said that 20 million vaccines would be distributed, injected by the end of 2020. That's in 3 days' time. In 72 hours' time, it's New Year's Eve, right? The big night, right? But how many have been distributed and injected? Only 2 million. So we're $18 million short. Now, you want to tell me you want to get rid of the pandemic with $20 billion aid, $9 billion towards distribution, and you've only reached 2 million out of 350 million Americans? America, wake up. I mean, do they care about you? Do they really want to stop this pandemic? Do they really want to kickstart the economy, right? I don't know. Doesn't seem like it. Other priorities. Lots of other priorities in there. Teddy says, I think we're going to get the $600. No, that is for sure. There's no if or buts. We're already getting the $600. That has already been signed off. The question now is, do we get $1,400 more? Now, we're almost there. I'm just afraid that knowing Mitch McConnell, I call him Mitch the little bitch, right? That he is not going to go with this and rally the GOP Senate to put their weight behind this. That's my worry. Now, GOP leaders in the Senate, however, have signaled their opposition to raising the dollar amount of the checks. In addition of $2,000 stimulus checks would likely push the total amount of the stimulus package well over $1 trillion, a price point which has some GOP opposition, right? Now, they've already passed $900 billion, and I ask you the difference between $900 billion and $1 trillion. What, we're talking an extra $100 billion? You can get $100 billion to the American people in form of $2,000 checks. They will spend it. It will trickle back into the economy. So I don't know where their resistance is, right? Their resistance is, hey, we need money for other places. And that is corporate America. Corporate America gets too much of this book. Mark Lugo is in the house. He says it will not pass. The GOP will not let it. They will not bring it to the floor. And Marco, I believe you're right. I believe you are right. In his statement Sunday, the president said he wants far less wasteful spending and more money going to the American people in the form of $2,000 checks per adult and $600 per child, adding that he is demanding many rescissions to the bill. So, obviously he has conditions, but that is something that the Democrats can finally, for once, Nancy Pelosi can agree with Trump that yes, we want that $2,000. But who stands in between that $2,000 and your bank account? Mitch the bitch. Following Trump's criticism of the relief bill, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said in a Sunday statement that the president should immediately call on congressional Republicans to end their obstruction and to join him and the Democrats. Every Republican vote against this bill is a vote to deny the financial hardship that families face and to deny the American people the relief they need. Pelosi continued. It is not immediately clear if congressional GOP members will answer the president's call for higher checks as the bill is sent over to the Senate for a vote in Trump's waning weeks in the White House. When do they send this over? When do they send this over to the Senate? Are they going to stall? Are they going to play the little game? What is the Senate going to do? Are they going to act? And I tell you what, I'm going to make an additional video. If they shoot this down, after Trump wants it, after the Democrats want it, if the GOP wants to shoot this down, I will be making a live feed and going through these individuals one by one who voted against the American people, because that would be a shame, right? IQ Boy says next year sometime. I hope it's sooner. Gary Georges says DOA, dead on arrival. That's what I think the mooch man will do. Gary, I think you're right. Sherelle says, I heard that Bernie is threatening to hold the defense bill if McConnell blocks the 2,000. Nice. Maybe that is a smart chess move, right? Hey, Mitch, I'm not going to sign off on your defense bill if you don't sign off on our $2,000 stimulus check, right? So it's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. Mohammed Khalil, greetings, Prof. Is it 2,000 plus $600 per child? Yeah, so if you're married, $4K, and you have 2 children, what are you getting? $5,200. Now, $5,200 is a nice vaccination in the arm. That is a good boost, my friends, right? $5,000, you can actually do something. Oscar Herrera says, bitch McConnell and the vaccines stand in the way. Very well said. Teddy says, Sherelle, I did not hear that, but at least Bernie has some leverage if he does that. Will it work? I don't think so. Mitch won't cave. I would love to look inside of Mitch's brain. And, if I could take a peek in there, I think it looks pretty dark. I don't see any spine. I don't see any love. I don't see any passion. I don't see any caring. I don't see any understanding. I don't see any empathy that this guy has ever displayed. It's Mitch, Mitch, Mitch. Ego, ego, ego. Cash, cash, cash. The guy who's made the most money in the House and in the Senate by far, others don't even come close to him, is Mitch McConnell, because he gets a couple of $100,000 there, $500,000 there, $1 million there, $50,000 there. The guy made a whopping $26 million from corporate America. And do you really think Mitch the bitch has your back? I don't think so. I don't think so. As Jimmy Abstract Echo says, his brain is a vacuum. It's a void. There's no cells in there. There's no brain matter. It's just absolute internal darkness. If you had to look inside of, hey, Mitch, let me just stare into your brain quickly. Can't see anything. Let me get better lenses. Let me go in there a little bit. Let me just check. Let me get a little scope. I can't see anything inside there. Complete vacuum, darkness. So President-elect Joe Biden has signaled his support for 2K direct payments earlier Monday, showing renewed promise that if the current bill is rejected in the Senate, that it could be resurrected under the incoming administration and new Congress. I said that yesterday. I said, watch, if these guys are not going to cooperate with Trump and with the Democrats, the moment the guy is sworn in on January the 20th, and yesterday there were a few people that said Biden would never, ever be sworn in and that Trump would be president until 2025. Me don't think so, right? I don't think so, right? So I do think that he will give this a massive push if Mitch fires it down. And really the only guys that can put a little bit of weight or swing it in 2021 is Georgia. So I would ask the people in Georgia, right? I know who's running. But if you want to do the country a favor, if you want to get the economy going, if you want to do well for your brothers and sisters, if you want to do well for your family, I highly, highly suggest, and even if you are a Republican living in Atlanta, Georgia, vote for those 2 Democratic senators and let's get the show on the road, right? That is the only way you're going to get money back into the system and money into your account is by overthrowing those 2 Republican seats in Georgia and them blue, right? I'm just putting that out there because if that happens, your money is guaranteed. I can tell you that. So again, Marcus says Mitch will not go for it. Absolutely right. The rider driver says people stay involved in the political process, vote every election, every year, not every 4 years. Thank you so much for saying that. Yeah, I mean, the power that you have, the power that Marco has, the power that the rider driver has, the power that Jimmy has, the power that Rideshare Safety Guide has, right? You have the power to vote. It's a powerful, powerful tool, my friend. It was waning, fading away in South Africa. It had to go. A courageous white man stepped forward, the then president, and said, listen, we got to abolish apartheid and give everyone in this country, all 45 million people, an opportunity to vote. One man, one vote. Not, you can't just say, okay, only the white man's vote counts. I mean, that was apartheid, right? And what happened, I remember being at the rally on the streets chanting, Nelson Mandela was released from prison. They then allowed the entire country to vote. The African National Congress, the ANC, was voted into power. Nelson Mandela became the president, and Nelson Mandela, as well as that white president together, received the Nobel Peace Prize, right? If you have the power to vote, you can change things. By sitting on the couch, drinking a beer and saying, yeah, I'm not going to go to vote. Ah, shit, it's raining. You're missing a golden opportunity. You have the power to change things, my friend. Now, just a very quick shout out to my sponsor, Cover, Kover, Gig Protection Plan. You get 1 month free with the link below. Check it out. What I like about it, or what I like the most, is the legal protection it offers together with the partner Legal Rideshare. If these frickin' companies deactivate you, if they wrongfully terminate you over a false report or whatever the case may be, at least you have the opportunity to get legal representation and fight it and get back behind the wheel. That is why I like the combination of Cover and Legal Rideshare. Now back to the article. Look, I think her heart's in the right place. I just think her days are up. I mean, in all honesty, Mitch McConnell and Nancy Pelosi, just for me, get them out, get some fresh blood in there, and people that know how to communicate with each other. Okay, what are the wants and needs of the American people? Let's get this through, right? Now, the fact that she and Trump, I mean, they literally freaking hate each other. They were, right? The fact that it took 6 months to get $600 passed is atrocious. It's shameful, right? And it has a lot to do with these two egos of Trump and Nancy clashing, right? They should have met 4 or 5 months ago and said, Trump should have said, listen, I want $2,000 for the American people. Are you good with it? And she should have said, yes, I agree. Now, let's use the next 4 months right up to December 2020, right, to really hash, or even sooner, and hash out a vote with the Senate that we get this $2,000. No, they leave it till the last minute, play around, play a chaotic, dramatic, I will not sign this bill, all this BS. Finally, 11th hour it passes. Democrats say, okay, Trump, you said $2,000, you said $2K, let's do it. Let's do it. So they actually create a bill, they push it to the floor. Monday, today they vote. An hour ago, they get the okay. Yes, let's pass this. And how did they vote? Overwhelmingly. I mean, they voted 275 to 134. That is how they voted, right? But now the big question. When does the Senate vote? And will they green light this 2K? I hope they do, for you and I, for your family, for your kids, for the people that need it. Jimmy Barrera says he needs an answer. He says, is the country going on lockdown again? Why do we need another stimulus plan? Well, look around you, Jimmy. I don't know what world you live in, but look around you, what's happening, right? In your eyes, I would ask Jimmy, is COVID real? Damn right it's real, right? This morning, my friend in San Diego calls me, I have COVID. He goes into hospital. He's on a ventilator. My neighbor's in Calabasas. The father gets it. The mother's still in hospital. The kids both got it. Now, how do you prevent that? Well, firstly, you could wear a mask, as a lot of people think, you know, you're too much of a PUSSY to wear a mask. I'm not going to wear a mask. I'm a macho man. I don't have to wear a mask. Well, with that attitude, where do we go? We go nowhere, right? We go nowhere. So the bottom line is, the rider driver, thank you for saying that. A beautiful history lesson on South Africa. I can tell you many wonderful stories about South Africa. It's a great country with a lot of opportunity, a lot of corruption, sadly, but tons and tons of opportunity. Beautiful people, 14 different tribes, 14 different languages, really, in one country. Fascinating, fascinating country. Aldo Moliere is in the house. Hope you and the familia are doing well, my friend. So Rideshare Safety Guide says, Professor, are you choosing to get the vaccine for COVID-19? Look, my honest answer is no, and I'll tell you why. When I was in the Army, I was 19 years old, with 44,000 intake, 44,000 soldiers. It was split alphabetically, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They got all these vaccines. I was up for Sunday afternoon. My last name was K. So I was like scheduled for the third day. Probably the first 25,000 people got so sick, so ill, some even hospitalized, some sick for 2.5 to 3 months because of these vaccines. Those were other vaccines. I'm not saying that they're obviously not the COVID-19 vaccine. But my reluctance to vaccine comes from my teenage years, right? I don't take flu shots, and I haven't been sick in the last 4.5 years, except for breaking my foot and getting an infection in my foot. But, you know, I have tons and tons and tons. This is really where I spend my money, on the best of the best supplements. And, you know, I've done many courses in that, studied that for 3 years, natural medicine. I mean, Let's just talk about good probiotics. I mean, really, really good stuff, $30, $40 and higher per bottle, right, to keep your immune system up. But this, my friend, is what should be in every single one of your cabinets, D3. It's the magic bullet, right? And this happens to be 5,000 IU. And by the way, an AIDS patient, they give an AIDS patient up to 40,000 IU per day because AIDS patients' immunity is so low. So they pump it up. They give a D3 up to 40,000. Easily take 5 to 10,000 IU a day. The FDA might say, well, you should only get 3 to 3,500 IU. This is a magic bullet when it comes to keeping that immune system up, right? Or things like turmeric. I mean, this thing has about 15 different advantages, turmeric. I mean, may not interest you, but I tell you what, I've kept the family healthy, kept myself healthy, haven't had any issue, no sicknesses for 4 or 5 years. Because I go out and spend the money on the best of the way. You don't want to overdo it. You got to just know what to take at what right amount. So let's see, where are we right now? How many votes do they need to win in the Senate? My guess is they would have to get a 2/3 majority vote in the Senate as well. They will definitely get the vote from Democratic senators. The question then is, out of that remaining group, the GOP senators, which they're in the majority, right? I think they have 2 seats more than the Democrats currently. They hold the majority. Hence, Mitch McConnell, the leader of the Senate, because their side does have more Republican senators. The question is, out of that group of GOP senators, how many people are willing to say, okay, American people first, $2,000, I will go with Trump one more time, one last time? Or do they say, screw Trump, he's on his way out, we're not going to put this money through for the American people, we're not going to drive the debt higher, right? Maybe up to $30 trillion, screw that, we're not going to sign off on this. You know, love and light, sending prayers to them. Thank you. Mohammed Khalil says, Jimmy, evictions, unemployment, expired, small businesses hurting. Correct. So that's where, that's where this money comes in handy. It's Moose's in the house. He says it's crucial that the Democrats get both seats in Georgia. 100% with you, brother. This pandemic isn't going away soon, and the Democrats will be able to get dollars to the people sooner. So if you want to, look, when at one stage, and this has always happened throughout history, if you have a Republican president, a Republican House, a controlled House, and a Republican controlled Senate, you can get any bill through and passed. They had it as well, I think, during the Bill Clinton era. They had a Democratic president, a Democratic controlled House, Democratic controlled Senate, and you get the bills signed and you get them through. The moment you have one side, let's say a Democratic House and a GOP Senate, this is what happens, clashes, right? Because they just can't get bills. There's not a meeting of the mind. So this is genuinely a tough one to get this through. For the sakes of the people, for the sakes of my subscribers, for my extended family here, which I consider you to be, I truly hope and pray that somewhere within Mitch McConnell's brain, there's like a short circuit. He wakes up and he says, oh my God, it's frickin' time to take care of the American people. I am voting on this $2,000. Let's do it. Or will he say, I am a robot. I am protecting corporate America. There is no way this $2,000 check, this $2,000 stimulus check is going to be signed by me or my army of senators. We shall see. We shall see. We shall see. Nifty says, I want that $2,000. Listen, wire it directly into my account, right? Just wire it straight in. Put it either in my Wells Fargo account or my Bank of America account or my one-way. I don't care. Just wire it straight in. I won't complain. David says, I want more free stuff now. Sure. What do you need? Do you need an Apple computer, David? What do you need? Do you need some probiotics? What do we need to send you, David? So, let's see. Alda Moller says, can I take a moment to say thanks? Is anyone involved in Didi DoorDash, Grubhub litigation? Should we still work for them? I'm a bit leery. Look, my advice on that is there's many gig companies. I have a subscriber called Wicked One. I keep on quoting him all the time. He is on 8 platforms. He knows when and where to be on which platform, right? So the question is, are you willing to try out something else or transition to another? I mean, it sounds like you're DoorDash. It sounds like you're Grubhub. It sounds like you're playing it safe and doing food deliveries, and you feel a little bit let down. You probably joined the litigation and sued them as well, just as many people have sued Uber and Lyft but are still driving for them, right? You got to follow the money. And the only way you can follow the money is to go and sign up for the freaking app, let them run their background check, right? And say, okay, you're good to go. Okay, so I'd go and do a couple of Postmates deliveries, Uber Eats deliveries, Grubhub deliveries, Instacart deliveries, Uber trips, Lyft trips, whatever, Uber Connect deliveries, blah, blah, blah. And then I can compare apples and oranges. How much did I make in those few hours? Where did I do the best, right? Follow the money. Follow the cash. Jung Sain says it's not socialism. It's literally our tax money. And this is an emergency once in a century. Yeah, a lot of people think, oh, this is free money. No, it's not free money. It's money that you have put in the system in form of taxes. High five! Thomas Gibson from San Diego. Very nice. Great success. High five. Thomas, how are you? It's really sad to hear that Paul Figueroa, Thomas's good buddy, came down with COVID, right? And Paul's wife has lupus. She also came down with COVID. This is real stuff, folks. These are real people. These are real drivers, not far from me in San Diego, 2.5 hours away, right? I sat with them, at the spaghetti factory down there in the Gaslamp district, having a wonderful night with Thomas, Paul, myself, and a few other people, Dave, the Uber slave, right? These are real people that caught a real frickin' pandemic disease. This is no monkeying around. If you let your guard down, maybe it's too late. And it's closing in by the circles. It's not like, oh, it's the friend of the friend of the friend that got it, or it's my friend's mother's relative got. No, now it's your freaking neighbor. It's my neighbor who has it. Will they retaliate? Well, there are retaliation laws. If they do retaliate, they face a big lawsuit, right? So if you have legal representation and they're fighting a suit against Uber or Lyft or whoever it may be, that's cat. That is the cat that I patted early on in Calabasas at my kid's house. I don't do well with cats. If you sue them, and you're represented by a law firm in a class action suit, and you have proof that they deactivated and you terminated you wrongfully, that legal group, that attorney group that represented you in the class action can go against them a second time for retaliation. So companies have to be very, very careful on how they retaliate. I'm getting clothing orders from my kids. They just, oh, cool. And then some frickin' crazy footage here in South Africa. I mean, this was nuts, man. This was nuts. Check this out. And this is an area where I used to swim and surf but I mean, this is crazy, folks. That there is a great white. This is in South Africa, Plettenberg, where I used to surf, warm water. That's a great white. Look how big that great white is.
It started heading towards the surface. And
this is a South African 14-year-old that filmed it with a drone.
My dad's friend, Mark Rogers from the NSRI, that it was heading towards the surface. Then he started heading towards the surface.
That paddle skier probably saved that guy's life because he distracted that great white. Look how big that great white is. And those boards are all 7 to 8 feet, 6 to 7 feet.
Shark circling the surface was quite crazy.
That is crazy. So I have Edward Escobar calling me. I'm in a live feed. I'm sure Edward knows that I'm doing a live feed, so I'm not going to take that call right now. Bring out the fishing rod. That's a good one. I took 4 years of German and forgot. Gesundheit, Dankeschön. That's it. That's the word that you say. Gesundheit. Bless you. Exactly. Thank you. That was a big sneeze. I apologize. So I'd shit myself. I mean, you're talking, how big is that thing? 13, 15 feet, swimming amongst the surfers. Okay, who am I going to eat today?
Well, their reaction was, the one guy was shocked. He couldn't believe that the great white was right in front of his eyes, and he didn't even realize. Thank goodness that the paddler realized. But it's quite crazy. The one surfer was facing the other direction, and the shark was right by his foot, and he didn't even know anything about it. And we put it up on Instagram first, and it's been getting a lot of views. My account went from being 90 followers for my wildlife to being over like 1,500, and now the video's on 55,910 views already.
No, thank you. Sorry.
For this video, we're trying to
pass. No way. Go and surf or paddle ski in shark-infested waters. No, thank you. Nifty 50 said, my 96-year-old grandma passed away today in Ohio. We send her love, we send her light. May she rest in peace, the wonderful. She got 96 good years, right? Our prayers, our thoughts to you and the family. Doesn't matter whether it's your mother, your father, your grandmother. That's a family member that you've lost, right? So others say, he says, thank you. People send their love, their thoughts, their wishes to the family. Let's see. We're on 38 minutes. I did a good 1.5 hours this morning. I did 3.5 hours, believe it or not, last night, live feed. I do want to keep you guys in the loop here, step by step. What's going to happen if I do find out when the Senate is going to vote on this? Obviously, let's follow that, and let's hope and pray that that $2,000 comes through. Nifty 50 says she lived a long and happy life. What can you ask for more? You're 96-year-old. You've lived a long, happy life, and I think emphasis on happy, right? Imagine living 96 years of misery and suffering and anger and hatred, maybe not forgiving someone that did something to you when you were 10 years old. No, sounded like a very happy individual. With George Economides in the house, he says, may her memory be eternal. I love that line. May her memory be eternal. She is smiling down at us, right? And she's saying, hey, Mitch McConnell, you better vote. You better vote for my grandson. You better vote. You better come through with that $2,000, boy. You better make sure that you sign off on that bill, boy. So she's still got a lot of power up there in heaven. So Sherelle says 96 years. I mean, try and duplicate 96 years. I'm halfway there. I'm halfway there. So that's a long freaking time on planet Earth. Has a long time, right? She's seen, I mean, she has seen, probably saw World War II, right? She probably experienced World War II. Alrighty. So please leave your comments if you're only coming into the video now. We have 30 people in the house right now, 29 likes. Like button as hard as you can. Let's get it up to 30. Balance it out, 29 at the moment. If anybody can squeeze out a like, I appreciate it. Thank you. Somebody just came through, whoever that may be. Much appreciated. Do have a wonderful week, folks. If you are going to work on New Year's Eve, right, please gear up, go out, buy the disinfectant, buy some spray. It's on all shelves, right? No excuses. Make sure you maybe get yourself a little additional box of masks for New Year's Eve. Make sure you are well protected. Make sure that everybody that gets in your car wears a mask. You can scan them before they get in. Excuse me, ma'am, you don't have a mask. Don't enter the car, please, unless you have a mask on. Or so New Year's Eve, there will be people going out trying to make money that night. I don't think the party scene is there. We spoke to DJ Jen last night. By the way, I checked her out. Sounds like an incredible Jen Martinello. She was in the house with us yesterday. She gave me incredible health followed up on. She's on soundcloud.com. Jen Martinello. She's one of my subscribers and she's a phenomenal DJ. So I give her a huge shout out. Gilad Kuriski's in house. Happy New Year, my brother, to you and your family. Stay safe, celebrate. I want to see all of you. I want to see all of you in 2021, period, right? So just to give you an idea here, the setup that I have in front of me here, literally, I mean, to give you an idea, the setup that I have in front of me, you can see 3 computer screens, right? So I'm a little bit slow on the uptake when it comes to tech. I definitely have the money to spend on it. I do spend a lot of money, but to catch up with other YouTubers and that, there's like people like DDR Dark Road Run. I follow him. He definitely has taught me a lot about light, about sound, about cameras. I follow other channels for editing purposes. You know, when they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, that's not true. This old dog, this bulldog, or whatever you want to call him, Rottweiler, Alsatian, whatever you want to call me, you can teach me tricks. It just may take me a little bit longer than teaching my 13 or 15 or 17-year-old, right? So Sherelle says kind of an iffy connection today. That's because of all the storms, the rains that are happening. And by tomorrow, the California sun is back out. So definitely welcome this great weather. Yeah, Dark Road Run, hit him up. In fact, I don't want to, if he's just gone live, I don't want to take away from his live feed. Why don't you go and march over straight from here and go straight into his feed? He just went live. And his name is Dark Road Run. You guys may know him. George Economida says the $2,000 is just virtual paper, which the Federal Reserve has indicated several times that they have many tools available to stabilize the economy. It was pointed out on 60 Minutes. I did watch that and it was a great 60-minute show. And, you know, the bottom line is you give someone $2,000, I will guarantee you within 45 days, they've spent it. It's back in the economy, right? Whether they go shopping on Amazon, whether they fill up their car with gas, whether they pay the utility bills, whether they pay their rent, or they gas up their car, that money makes its way through the channels very, very quickly and flows back into the system. So it's not like people are going to hoard $2,000 and hold on to it. No, you generally spend it. Maybe you got rent that is due, which means some landlord is going to receive a portion of that. That landlord then is going to take those earnings and maybe apply it to Home Depot and buy additional products to re-roof his house. Money trickles back in. This is not like, okay, we're going to hand 5 people $2,000. They've got $10,000 and they're going to hold on to 10 grand forever. No, it will, mark my words, in the next 45 to 60 days, trickle down effect into the economy. JT says, long time no see. Good to see you. Yeah, hi, JT. I'm very good with the little icons, these tiny little icons that you see on the side. G-Lad, I see him there. He says, it will be gone in 24 hours. We won't remember we received it. That's true. It's like, whew, here today, phew, gone tomorrow. Where did I just spend that $2,000? Now, $600, I'm sorry. I mean, I think I could buy one good round of multi blah, blah. That's $600. That's 600. The good vitamins, the good Ds, the good oils, the good probiotics, the good immune boosters. $600 right there. So $600 doesn't go far. $2,000 will take you on a little journey, right? So I will check in. It's the 28th today, the 29th tomorrow, the 30th on Wednesday. Oh, tomorrow there's a big car auction that I'm going to attend. A lot of interesting cars there. So maybe can pick up a car or two tomorrow at the auction. We shall see. And I wish you all a fantastic Monday and a great start to the final week of 2020. God bless you all. May we get to 2021 together. And let's just be careful. Let's just all work together. Thank you, and thank you again, my friends. Have a great night.